So this is a story that came to mind back in, I think it was the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. Serban was driving from Virginia Beach up to Philadelphia. He had a Jeep Cherokee, and he had his Pro Tool system in a flight case. So he was coming back and forth all the time, and I would see him all the time. And I didn't know this about him, but he is a guitar luthier too, and he had this bass guitar, and he has a patent on it, and it can go from a fretted bass to to a fretless bass. And as this lever, he figured out this whole mechanism in the neck. I guess it's in the neck. Yeah, it has to be in the neck. That makes all the frets, go right into the neck and make it fretless. And one of my really good friends of mine is Bill Rhyme, and Bill was, I don't know if he was the president of Hoshino at that time, or but he was pretty high up at the Hoshino, and Hoshino was Ibanez Guitars and Tama Drums, and they were based out of Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And Serban asked me, he said, "Do you think you could set up a meeting where me and you could take this bass to Bill so they could look at and see if it'd be something that they would like to license from me or make?" And I said, "Sure." So me and Serban went from, I think I met him in Bensalem, and he followed me over to they have this gigantic warehouse where all the guitars and the drums are stored and then shipped nationally from there. And we showed the bass guitar to Bill, and I think it was his marketing team. And they thought it was very interesting, but they didn't know if it would sell or not. And one thing that Bill had told me is guitar players don't like things that are radically different. They can take things that are a little different, but when it's radically different, it's a risk. So to make a long story short, they passed on it. They didn't do anything. But Serban got all the patents on this whole thing, and I think he had one company license it for a year or two, but they didn't put one in production, as far as I understand. And he still has the patent, so if there's a bass guitar company that'd like to get in touch with him, he'd probably be thrilled that somebody would put that into production. But that was something that it's kind of a networking you do, and me being good friends with Serban, and I just happened to be talking about Bill, and Bill was in my wedding party, and he's a really good friend of mine. I've known him forever, and so it wasn't a big deal to put that meeting together. It unfortunately didn't go anywhere, but you try. So that was my Serban bass fretted fretless story. So there you go.